on the clock. Like I'm just basically parked next to my guard shack. So I just felt like getting on live. It's like quiet as heck out here. It's actually like that guard shack is really it's really like small. I mean my car is small too, obviously, but like it's the way the seating arrangement is, it's just we're allowed to park right here. So I'm like, I'm gonna just sit in my car. So yeah, I actually feel more comfortable in here unless they say that we can't do that anymore. But like, I mean, on third shift, there's literally nobody here. So I'm like, honestly, I don't really give a shit. Like, to me, this is more comfortable. So yeah, I just felt like getting on live. And again, I'm doing lives right now because like I delete a lot of the holes and stuff out of there. So but I wanted to talk some more about dating, you know, because that is a topic that I do feel very strongly about, because a lot of the reasons is because a lot of the things that I personally have been through in relationships, and just generally how they have affected me and my outlook on just relationships, dating, any kind of future partnership, and I watch a lot of content and I listen to a lot of things that people say. I observe people a lot because it's kind of my job, not here, but my other job. Like, I get to see lots of different people interact, like couples, coworkers. Just I get to. I mean, I observe a lot of human traits and behaviors. That's what your job as a security guard is to do, is to observe and report. Any kind of threat or possible threat or anything like that. So I watch people a lot, and I see so many different things about people that I don't like, whether it's on social media or in real life. And don't get me wrong, I have seen some things that I do like too. Like, it's bad. I don't want to come with this perspective of, it's all bad, because it's never all bad. There's just a lot of bad that I got to be honest that I see. And, it just makes me feel, it makes me in a lot of ways kind of feel a certain type of way. A lot of the things that I used to desire or I thought I wanted, for my future, I realized like that is a world that doesn't actually exist. Um, my desires for the future look completely different than what they used to look. It used to be very, very important to me. I'll go back down there, just tumbling in the wind. Probably can't see it because it's out of focus. I get distracted so easily. um, but no, a lot. I used to really want to be in a serious, committed relationship. Like, now I don't. That used to be something that I really, really wanted, but I don't. I used to want to get married, to have a family, to have kids. I no longer care about that, because I feel like that is something that doesn't actually exist. I don't know if women were socially engineered to not want to be their nurturing nature, or to live in a nuclear type environment. I don't really know, but I know that that version of female or woman does not exist anymore. Oh man. I'm sorry, y'all. My phone, like I'm out in this kind of big. If I get that's why. Okay. So I'm not sure if if the video cut it off or not, but I was just basically saying I'm not sure if it was cut off or not, but I don't want any of the things that I really used to want. Like I don't desire to be in, a relationship, a committed relationship anymore. I don't desire to get married and have a family or have kids anymore. Like that, just based off of my experiences, off of things that I personally have been through with women and relationships, and I've seen others go through. I no longer feel like it's worth the risk in getting involved with a woman in that way. I just don't. I don't think that it's worth the mental health risk. I don't think that it's worth the financial risk. I don't think that it's worth the spiritual, emotional risk. It's just not worth it. So, and I'm going to be honest, I'm actually terrified to get close to the modern women, to even emotionally get close to a woman, because I've seen personally what they're capable of. And this is not personally to like, I'm not trying to say I hate women, but sometimes I feel like I do, if I'm being honest. But I don't consciously hate them. But sometimes I feel like once I've observed some of the things that they have done, and I just scratch my head like, why would you do something like that? Why would you do that to somebody? And not only do they do it, it's like they don't care about it. It's like I feel like women just don't care about anybody else but themselves. And that kind of it makes me angry, because it's like we as men, we are always taught to put women first. And we have all these excuses about, oh, well, it's just how she's made and her biology. It's just like, no, but as a human being, like you should know that if you do certain things, it's very painful and traumatic to another person or being. And it's like we have all these excuses of all these horrible things that women can do. And there's always some bullshit ass, oh, well, they're emotional. That's just their biology. It's like, no, fuck that. You have common sense, though. You have a brain. You can use common sense. Like if I go up and punch somebody in the face in public, I don't get to say, oh, well, it's because I have testosterone and I'm a man and I have, I'm more prone to be aggressive. Like, no, like I knew that I was punching somebody in the face. Consequences. I don't get to just make excuses and be like, oh, well, that's just how men are, it's not my fault. It's just my biology, like, no, like I'm accountable for that. I have to own up to the consequences. But it's like when it comes to women in society, it's like anything goes. They can cheat, they can do whatever, they can lie. It's like, oh, well, that's just how women are. It's like, no, yeah, that's how they are. But like, it's all just excuses. And I'm over it. Like, a lot of men I feel like are over it. Like, some people feel like men are complaining about, like, I'm like, no, like, I've seen way too much shit. And I know about way too much shit to ever look at females the same way. And it's always like they try to always make you feel like there's some kind of flaw in you, and that's why you feel that way. I'm like, no, I'm a whole complete man. I am working on myself the best way that I know how to personally to improve my life. And I actually have improved my life. So let's say that right there. There's all this narrative about, oh man, they're just nowadays they're weak and they're just mad because they don't get women, they can't get women, they're too weak for the modern woman. It's like, no, like I'm actually a very strong person, especially after all the things that I've been through, and still like out of it and still coming out of it, and slow over time building my life up and building myself up, whether people notice or not. Like I know like all the improvements that I've made and I'm still making in spite of all the bullshit and challenges that I've been through. So, I mean, there's nothing that anybody can tell me at right now to where somebody else, they say, well, this other person is so far ahead of you. And compared to you and compared to them, compared to where they're at, we're gonna label you dusty or broke or a loser. Like, that's what people do. That's what a lot of women do today. That's what just society does in general to men. They compare people that may have had God knows how many other kinds of advantages or, better circumstances than you. And they go, look at how good he's doing compared to how good you're doing. He's clearly a better person than you. He's clearly doing all the right things in life. Meanwhile, they have not seen where you were at compared to where you're at now. Just in general, like the just mindset, finances, than the average American. I guarantee you that. I guarantee it. Like, statistically speaking, like, to show, like, people are basically, my aesthetic, and stuff like that. That is something that, when it comes, even when it comes like working out and stuff like that, and even like my dress and stuff like that, that is something that I'm currently working on. But outside of that, I've been working more on my spiritual and my emotional being. And that's a tricky thing because you have to balance like your higher and lower self, meaning like basically like you have to understand that it's going to still be people and situations that's going to try you, that's going to test you, that's going to try and play you to basically be like, what I've learned is you can't always be nice, you can't always be spiritual, you can't always be a gentleman. I threw all that shit away. Now, am I sometimes nice? Yes. Am I sometimes a gentleman? Yes. Am I sometimes not an asshole to people? Yes. But what I personally learned is you have to go through life with a very, very thick skin. And sometimes that thick skin will appear or be know what y'all are about, and I'm not going to let y'all play with me, basically. So if I have to be an asshole to you, then I'll be an asshole to you to keep you from fucking with me. Because a lot of people try to get in your head, make you doubt yourself, make you question yourself, make you hate yourself, because it gives them a sense of superiority and power. And they feel like they get their sense of superiority or position in life or whatever from getting you to look down on yourself or not believe in yourself or think lowly of yourself. Because if you believe in their story and their narrative and their perception of you, well, that means that they are right. That means that they, are above you. And you know what I'm saying? It basically helps them to put themselves in you. And so as long as they can get you to buy into their bullshit perception of you, well, then that means that they must be better than you. I don't buy that shit. I know it's bullshit. But anyway, I'm at the point now where I don't believe anything that anybody is saying. I don't care who you are. I don't believe nothing unless consciously it makes sense to me. I'm getting to the point where I'm not listening to what anybody has to say about anything. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. And it's nothing personal. It's basically what it has to be to for you to like actually, in my opinion, morph your reality, because it can't be anything less. I don't care who it is. When I say I don't care who it is. Like you gotta be at the point to where you're like, listen, this like I'm at the point now where like, okay, it's getting to the point now where like this physical reality for me, the people in it, I don't even really